I don't know what the hell WWE is thinking about that, but they need to stop it, in my opinion. And another useless Miz TV segment, except for the fact that this was one of the best promos on Raw in a long time. We never thought we'd see Cena do it, but he put off a good promo, and so did Daniel Bryan. They put on a good promo. And then we went on to a 20-man battle royal. This was interesting. I was surprised. I thought Mark Henry would go and win, but RVD did win and go over. Then we had our main event, CM Punk versus Paul Heyman. This really didn't even happen. But you can read the rest of these results. In-depth analysis of these results is posted on our website until this fall. This fall they will be posted on our website and have an official podcast separate from the Ringside Podcast for these results. But moving on to our top story on our last 8 minutes of the show. We're going to talk about our WWE SummerSlam 2013 predictions match by match breakdown. Honestly, we're going to jump right in. Moving into the pre-show, my projected winner is going to be Rob Van Dam. Honestly, I don't think I want Rob Van Dam to win. I really do. But I have second thoughts about it all the time. I think that it will be a good match, but I still second thought it. I do. I mean, how many times has Dean Ambrose even defended that championship? Why, once. But he makes the title look good. He just gives those promos that make the championship mean something somehow. I don't know how, but he does a good job holding it and everything else with it. Another weird match is this mixed tag match. On Miz TV, we've seen it. Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus AJ Lee and Big E. Honestly, I'm gonna have to see Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn winning this. And honestly, I don't think it'll be the greatest match, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, the Ring of Fire match. This one I really want to see. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt on this. You know, I think Kane's gonna lose and be taken off TV to film the See No Evil movie, I'm sorry. But I really think that Bray Wyatt's gonna come on top if they want him to go over with the fans. ADR versus Christian. I'm going with Christian. Alberto Del Rio isn't one of those guys that have long title runs. They're those guys who take the title and hold it for someone else to come along. Brie Bella versus Natalya. I'm surprised we're gonna have two Divas matches on Raw or on SummerSlam, but I think it might. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't think that it will be the best match. I honestly think it's just a filler to fill in the 2 hours and 45 minutes that the WWE will have. Now this Cody Rhodes versus Damian Sandow. I'm going to side with Damian Sandow on this. People say that Cody Rhodes needs his redemption, but if they want Damian Sandow to go over, they're going to want him to really win this. I honestly think that this will be a pretty good match, but, in the past, it's kind of hard to tell these matches. Because in the past, they have had the Money in the Bank winners go under so much. Like with what they did with Daniel Bryan, he went under so much. When he was fighting Sin Cara, it almost seemed like he was heel or something, but he was just portrayed so terribly. Now, moving into this Brock Lesnar and CM Punk feud, I'm going with Brock Lesnar. 4 out of 5 stars. I honestly, I don't think I don't think Punk's gonna win. I don't. I think that they're gonna want Brock Lesnar to go over at SummerSlam and prepare him for WrestleMania 30, and then and they're gonna have him go under at WrestleMania 30. That's my feeling. Even though I don't want him to go under at WrestleMania. Why do they do this? Have him go under at Extreme Rules, have him go over at SummerSlam, have him go over at WrestleMania. Hell, have him go over one more time at Extreme Rules for his last year. I don't like with what WWE has done with Brock Lesnar since his return. He's put on some good matches, but I don't think he is the right person for the WWE to do. So I don't think. I don't know if you could hear that in the background there. That was the Brock Lesnar interview there about his match with Punk. But really, moving on to the main event, I'm predicting a 5-star match easily. My winner, Daniel Bryan, because I'm pretty sure John Cena is needing surgery. He's going to need to take at least a month off, if not longer. I don't think Randy Orton will cash in, to be honest with you. So, I really do think that it's going to be a hell of a show. I do. With all these great matches, and some of them have the best build-ups we've seen in years. But I do think that we could also see some of the worst matches at SummerSlam by just taking a look at some of the card. Really, that covers it for our SummerSlam predictions, and I appreciate everyone listening in on the special live edition of the Ringside Podcast. Just to close the show, we have a few special announcements. As you may have been able to tell by this broadcast, we are no longer a PG broadcast. We keep things up there in the 14 age and above. We may very less likely drop F-bombs, but as you could tell, we did use some language. One of our podcasts, though, the new one about our official statements and everything, those may not necessarily have the greatest language for our younger viewers to listen to, but as I said, I can only warn you. That's all I can do. I think that really covers it for our special announcements. Follow us on Twitter, though. You're listening to these broadcasts, and all these broadcasts, really, you get a full episode of in-depth analysis for the week of WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. But if you follow us on Twitter, you can get the most latest and up-to-date and keep tabs, because this Ringside Podcast episode, this goes out of date like after a week. It does. So, keep up to date. Follow us on Twitter at W Wrestling News with a Z. And at that, we have a hell of a podcast next time on the Ringside Podcast. And of course, remember to check into our new time as we move Wednesday nights live. Yes, permanently, we move to Wednesday nights live, 10/9 Central Time, starting this fall. Tune in then, but for now, this is Michael Burgess, the owner and head editor of WorldWrestlingNews.com, signing off. This has been a John Sambo production.